Hello, Trailblazers. My name is Matt Meyers, and I am the CEO and founder of EzProtect and a Salesforce CTA with over 19 years experience in the Salesforce ecosystem. 5 months ago, I did a video to see how Salesforce's pre-release of their new virus scanner works in Salesforce. And to our surprise, what we found out was the virus scanner did not catch some threats that I uploaded to it versus when I tried the same thing out in EzProtect, we were able to catch those viruses. So now today, I'm going to revisit that video again, where now we're going to do the same test all over again to see now if their GA edition of the virus scanner from spring 26 actually performs a lot better and as advertised. So before we jump into that, if you want to learn a little bit more about Salesforce's virus scanner or malware scanner as they're calling it, you can come here to this help article. Just search for malware scanning for Salesforce files. And you can see here, basically the way it works is when files are uploaded or downloaded from Salesforce, they are scanned for viruses. New files are scanned when users upload them, but existing files in your org are not scanned for viruses. A couple things to also note is whenever a file is tried to be uploaded and it has a threat, Salesforce is going to give you a notification or error. If you try to download an existing file that was marked as a threat, then Salesforce will also give you a notification. But what you need to be careful of is files are scanned only when they're 100 megs or smaller. So if a file is larger than 100 megs, Salesforce doesn't scan it or block users from uploading, previewing, and downloading. So make sure you have a good understanding of the sizes of files that are being uploaded into your organization. Another thing to note about it is that Salesforce says here, malware scanning flags files only if they have a high probability of being malicious. So if you require more stringent scanning, consider using one of Salesforce's malware scanning partners. So what does this really mean? Well, Salesforce is saying that their scanner is really looking for high probability known malicious threats. So if it's a lesser known threat or a brand new threat, what that means is they will not catch it. But if it's more of the more common threats, they will. So just keep that in mind. Just know that it's not going to catch everything. Another thing to note on it is if there are malicious files, Salesforce has this tab here you can go to see what the malicious files were blocked. Normally, most files will not make it into Salesforce if they do catch it. But if you upload a file via the API, it will allow that upload, but just when you try to download it, it's going to block it. All right, so now let's go and jump right into the demo to see how it works. All right, so what you're seeing here on my screen, we have on the left side a Salesforce dev org with Salesforce's new virus scanner enabled. And on the right side, we have an org that has EzProtect enabled, so we can do a side-by-side comparison just like we did last time. And if you're curious on how to set up Salesforce's virus scanner, just go to Setup here and look for malware. There we go, malware scanning, and you'll notice that there's two checkboxes. The first says enable it to scan for viruses and malware. The second one is to notify users when a malicious file is detected. The second one is not on by default, as that's an admin only function. If a normal user tries to download a file, they're gonna get a notification, but you do not get notification globally when users are finding a malicious file was detected. That's only for admins. It requires a special admin setting. So let's go back over here to our side-by-side, as I mentioned. So first thing I want to do is do our baseline test, just same as we did last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the same malicious.zip file I did last time to the Salesforce environment, and we can see what happens. So last time, if you recall, Salesforce did not detect this file as a threat. So it looks like now their engine has learned and now has incorporated this file that I've uploaded as a threat into their system. So now it's being blocked from upload. And now I'm going to click the download button. And as you can see, the file has been permanently blocked. So both EzProtect and Salesforce were able to block that file. But now let's try a different one. Let's see if we can upload this new file that I pulled down that was a threat, this tarasco.exe.png. As you can see, the attacker has disguised it with a PNG at the end. And let's upload that to Salesforce And then we're going to also upload that to EzProtect. But if you notice here, Salesforce did allow that file to be uploaded. And then if I come over here into Salesforce, I click the button there for download. I click download. You notice here, Salesforce did allow me to download that file. And that is a threat, as I know it's a threat because I purposely found that file for this demo. Next, I'm going to go back to EzProtect here, and I'm going to try to download that same file. And if we notice here, the file is back to that temporarily blocked state. Once that file has been scanned, I'm going to move over here to our scan details page so that we can see the actual results of that file once it's been scanned, and then we will see what type of threat this actually is. All right, now if you see here, the scan has completed and the result is a threat. And then if we come down here, we notice here it was detected as a virus and it is a Trojan that was uploaded into Salesforce. So this is kind of what I was talking about earlier with Salesforce. They only detect those high probability threats. Doesn't mean it's not a threat. It just means they don't know about it. And so here, if you notice, that was a threat, did make it into Salesforce with Salesforce Scanner enabled, but with EzProtect, we were able to block that threat. Now, the main thing here is you just need to decide what is the right level of protection for your organization. If the Salesforce Fire Scanner is enough for you, or if you need to use a more professional business class solution such as EzProtect. A few things that you want to consider when you're doing that is number one, as I mentioned, anything over 100 megs, Salesforce is not going to scan. The second is the scanner is really helping you protect against threats that are as those known threats, not those unknown threats. And so typically that's going to be maybe your external users, but not if someone's targeting you like ShinyHunters. So if ShinyHunters was targeting you, they're going to do the same thing I just did. They're going to create a dev org and find a threat that Salesforce does not block, and then they're going to send that to you. So really this fire scanner is not stopping the professional hacking organizations that are targeting you as an organization. And then the next thing to consider is Salesforce's fire scanner is also not checking for malicious URLs. So that's where solutions like EzProtect come into play, where we are checking for malicious URLs coming into Salesforce as well. Salesforce's fire scanner is that entry-level solution, as I've mentioned, but if you need that advanced protection, that's where you want to move to something such as EzProtect. And so the last thing that you may be asking yourself at this point is, well, how big is the risk? Am I at risk? Well, since 2025, there have been over 1,000 organizations that were breached in Salesforce due to these professional hacking organizations. So if you're a mid-sized or large organization, I would definitely say you're at risk. If you're a small business, maybe not, but it really depends on your organization and your industry. But either way, if you are able to get a more advanced solution, I would suggest it. I personally wouldn't rely on it for my own business, but it's really up to you to make that decision. I hope this video was helpful for you today, and I hope that you got some value out of it. And as always, if you have any questions about Salesforce's virus scanner or any other security related questions, we are always here and happy to help. If you want to reach out to us and need some help, you can always go to our website, ezprotect.io, or you can DM me directly. Just look up Matt Meyers CTA on LinkedIn. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice day, and please stay safe out there, my friends.